of the street committee? Well, there's not a roll call on this one, so you want to call the roll though?
Sure. Terry Lamar,
Here?
Bruce Smith,
Here.
Kenneth Brashears.
Here.
Okay, item number 2, petitions from the audience. I do not see any at this time, so we'll pass on that one. Item number 3 is discussly and possibly approve the minutes of the April 22nd, 2025 meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Councilman Brashears and Mr. Smith. Call for the vote.
Lamar,
Yes?
Smith,
Yes.
Brashears.
Yes.
Okay, item number 4, discuss and possibly approve the minutes of the May 27th, 2025 meeting. And again, I want to table that. Request that we table that one because of the issue of the people in attendance at that time.
I'll make a motion to,
Table.
what do we want, table or take no action? Because if we table, we have to set a date.
Well, it'd be the next meeting.
And what was your reason?
At that particular meeting, you or I were not at that meeting, so we cannot
Okay.
approve the minutes. But that's gonna probably go on for some time. At some point, Chase, is there a way to remedy that? Since it's just a formality of some minutes that's from a meeting from
Did one of you guys
several months ago.
watch the meeting?
I probably did.
Probably.
You swear an
Let's
oath
table
you
it for now, let me see if there's a way around it.
Okay.
Might be a way, as long as you watch the meeting still.
Okay, so,
I'll make a motion that we table until the next street committee meeting.
and I'll second that. Motion by Brashears and second by Lamar to table that to the next meeting on item number 4.
Smith,
Yes.
Brashears,
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes. Discuss and possibly approve the minutes of the June 26, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Smith and seconded by Brashears.
Brashears,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to move item number 9
Excuse me.
to the table right now due to some to a scheduling change here. So item number 9 is discussly and possibly recommend council action to accept a bid for the South Elliott Street Drainage Project. The bids received were from J&S Construction of Veneta in the amount of $370,389 and Gober Construction of Broken Arrow in the amount of $528,362. And the engineer's estimate was $456,618.
Motion?
I second it.
Okay, motion by Brashears and second by Counselor Smith.
I have questions.
Mr. Mayor, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, maybe that was supposed to be 615, so I was looking, I think it's not 18, I think it's supposed to be 615, 456, 615. 185, 75, and the others were even numbers, so it should be 615.
On the engineer's estimate?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for correcting that.
Question. My first problem with this, I'd like to get the job done. I don't discard there. But I thought we agreed that these bids would be open in council meeting or committee meetings. And it wasn't. That's one problem. Number 2, it was advertised in the paper to be at a certain date and time, but the bids weren't open then. They were open, what, a week later? And I saw a letter you wrote saying that there was a problem, mistake. Should not the engineer have caught this mistake? He shouldn't.
Well, are you asking me what the problem was?
Yeah.
Because this was all lined out in the items in the packet that were attached. The idea is that from time to time, it happens where things are spec'd out. And what happened is the bids went out, all of the items that were spec'd were put out there. The bidders, the original bidders got to doing the process, they realized there was one of the items, one of the couplers that was no longer available. All of those parties reached out to Dale. Dale put a halt on it and went back and said, we'll find the right thing, filed an addendum, and the bids that were accepted were opened at the bid opening meeting, which was scheduled to be the bid opening meeting that was scheduled to be in the addendum. So the process was done correctly. Unfortunately, what Terry and I and Chase and somebody talked about this afternoon is we need to go into our, and this is for another day, another conversation not now, but is we need to go into our purchasing manual and add a section for addendums to bidding. So when there's a problem like this, that something comes up and we have to extend out that so that they can get the right part and the bidders can fix it. All of the bidders were notified by infrastructure. Infrastructure had to have receipt that they received that, and those that received it were the bidders. 2 bidders showed up. Gober, is that correct? Gober showed up. They were, sorry, 2 were on, 2 bid, 1 showed up to the meeting. Gober was here for that bid opening where those bids were open. They were tabulated. They were checked for proper documentation, so bid security, bonding, non-collusion. The bids were read. The bids were put down, and then the engineer gave his total.
Who opened the bid?
Dale. Dale is our agent, our bidding agent in that process, that the city has given the autonomy to do that. So the process.
I thought we agreed we was gonna open in council, not let Dale open. I think we've had
Mayor,
discussion before.
Mayor,
Yeah, jump on in there.
Though I agree totally in principle that bids should be probably done in the open meeting, and that could be something that would clarify on that. However, in the original publication there, where does it say that they will be opened at?
It just says at 12 North Row.
Okay.
That covers quite a size.
In
row.
our policy purchasing manual here, it says that the bids will be publicly opened and read aloud in a designated place
Okay.
on the date and time specified to bid. So the designated,
That's his
place,
address, his building.
this
That's
building.
not his
I think what you're
residence, not
missing-
his office.
No, I think what you're missing is, it was an open meeting. They were here, the doors were open, minutes were taken, Jay sat right there and did it. Dale sat right there, that seat at 12 North Row, Suite B, as on the paper, and that's where the bids were open.
But they were open different date, not the date that
They were open on the date that was put in the addendum. The addendum is what was sent out. You have that in your packet.
that's where you have your notes written out
Did,
there.
okay, I'll give you that. Do you recall, which I may not, did you recall we voted and we discussed to open these bids during council meeting and during committee meeting? Yes or no?
No,
Yes,
no.
we did. I'll find it for you.
Let me answer your question, Bruce, because you're missing a whole step. When we do these street bids like this, Dale is our agent, our purchasing agent that we have given the autonomy to do this. We put in there that they would be open at that time at this place. The addendum said we would be at this time, this place. I feel like we're kind of looking for something that's not there. We agreed that if it was gonna be something like, I don't know, we're putting new air conditioners on here, then yes, here at this time, we would open them in council meeting. But the process was followed 100% the way it should be. There was no malplay, there was we didn't miss anything on this. The problem came in when the part was no longer, the spec was no longer available. It was immediately put out that there needed to be a revision. The addendum was done. The addendum was followed properly. The bidding agent, Infrastructure Solutions, did exactly what they were supposed to do, followed the process that we have out. The only thing that we need to do going forward is put a process in our purchasing manual that addresses when there needs to be an addendum. We're overlaying 2 different things. So before we get, hostile about that, understand that the process was followed
No,
completely.
I'm not hostile, I'm just questioning.
Yes or no, what we're getting at is, the answer is, we followed it correctly. There's nothing that we did incorrectly. what we did was 100% right, 100% legal. We have our legal counsel here that will confirm that. We have others. Chairman Lamar is trying to explain it. I'm failing to understand what the hesitation is.
The people knew that this bid was gonna be somewhere in this building, at this address, which is
Right
the
here.
rooms.
Right here.
It don't say that. It doesn't say the council chambers.
I think for notice, the building itself is.
Well, next
Are
time
we
I'll make
good
sure.
with this legally?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, that's all I know. Legally
Next
good.
time I'll say it'll be the mayor's chair in the middle of council
Where
chamber.
you're running into an issue here is the addendum, there's not a policy for it, so you kind of had to create a policy, which there's not an issue with. Everything you guys did is clearly within statute.
So we're good, even though there's not an addendum created, we're gonna have to create one, but we didn't have one, so we're still legal doing it, we didn't have one, right?
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
think there's an issue. If you're not in violation of anything.
All right, that's all I wanted.
But surely we could put 12 North Row in the council chambers at such and such a time.
Well, we
Is that-
should, it ought to be, know where, what you're gonna be in, what building, and where at. you know.
Well, I agree, the more specific you are, the better.
Yeah,
But
that's all, just more specific of where it's gonna be and what time.
I agree with that 100%. I don't know if the error was on our part at the council meeting when we decided that they were gonna be done that day and designate the place, but for the future, I feel that we should designate the location. And also keep in mind that, according to our policy, they'll be opened at the place that's mentioned, like I said, on, the designated place. So if we need to say specifically the council chambers or at a meeting like this evening, we need to make sure that's clear for the future.
All right, yeah, I agree. That's what, it ought to be clear, so people, if they wanna come and watch it or listen to it, they could.
And another thing that I kind of find is kind of unclear right now by reading this policy of what the mayor had just said. What was the term you used, that Dale or Infrastructure Solutions was our
Purchasing agent?
purchasing representative or?
Purchasing agent.
Yeah, or in our policy, it does talk about the purchasing agent. So have we officially in writing designated them to be our,
When we ask Infrastructure Solutions to start that bidding process, which the council unanimously did, you are adopting that he will be that agent.
Or does it keep
I
us
think
still?
That might even be in the wording when for each project they do.
Okay.
When they do their, little estimate sheet, you guys know what documents, I think that's in there. If not,
What's in the back of my mind is getting this straight. I thought we had the rec center straight. We've had two screw-ups on it, on bidding. That's what I'm trying to get this. We've had a woman offer to give us bidding classes. I don't know how you have got the people in to listen to it. Maybe it'll help us, because she's sure more educated than we are about it.
One issue with the rec center is they're not actually a designated purchasing agent. That's why it has to be done in one of their actual meetings, whereas our purchasing agent for Dale, he can hold a meeting as long as he gives the notice.
Okay.
That might be where the confusion is in there a little bit.
Mike, should they be designated in writing that they, for fiscal year, whatever, is our designated purchasing agent for street drainage and engineering projects?
We could do it a couple different ways. I think the way they do it is per job. It's so instead of doing for the year, they're per job. When we approve them to take over the engineering on it, we're approving them to be the purchasing agent for that specific job each time.
Is it still a problem if even he's a purchasing agent, he gets these bids, why not open them where everybody can see it, instead of him just opening it up wherever?
I think he did. He did it, yeah, here.
He did it in an open meeting where it was supposed to be.
Where was it declared an open meeting that date?
Yes.
What paper was that in? How would Joe Blow know that you're gonna have that open, and when it doesn't say in the ad, it says this address, you could just put city council
The
and,
same way that
you
the
know.
contractors that showed up know, the same way Jay knew to come in and take the notes and the minutes, the same.
I'm just trying to make it clear is all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying, yeah, I want to get the job done, no problem.
Let's get it done then. Let's move on and get it done.
So you are good with the way this was done?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, after confirming that, here's my only other question is, we kind of have a Northeast First Street situation where one bidder is substantially lower than the other. And we have a recommendation in our packet. Is there any, just trying to round everything out here, is there any concern in regards to, I know this is not Glover,
No,
but,
no, it's not Glover, and we cannot go forward comparing everybody to Glover.
I know,
But the question was immediately, I was sitting there, and Dale was sitting here. I said, how has the experience you've had been with J&S? And he said, well, they're a decent company, they will do what you ask. I said, are we talking like a aforementioned issue? And he said, absolutely not. The other company was sitting out here, Goober, I don't know, Gober, I'm not trying to be insult,
Right.
whatever it is. And he said in the meeting, and I don't know if it was after mics were off or not, that's irrelevant, but the point is, he said he was high because you had to consider the traffic and the school, and he listed a whole bunch of elements on, as he was walking out the door.
Okay.
He said, my bid is what it is because you have to consider the traffic. So, if you look at the engineer's estimate, you can see it's kind of splitting hairs on there.
yeah.
So, there is no negative that was shared. I've not had any experience with them. I have no reason to believe that they're going to be like our last problem, but I have not had any experience with them, so I'm basing on what Dale told me. But Dale is familiar with them.
I just have two other quick things to add or ask a question to Chase on before we go on and either make a recommendation or not to the council to accept these bids. When is the final version of the purchasing policy going to be approved?
The policy's approved.
Right. You had mentioned at the council meeting that there was I'm talking about the word.
The ordinance, I've got it, so I got the P and Z to Zach yesterday, I had the other one pulled up halfway done, and I got distracted in the middle because I was doing it at the same time. But I expect it'll be on, is the next one Tuesday?
Next week.
I expect to have it on there. Along
Okay.
with the other.
And you had made a comment at the last council meeting that there was a resolution in place about this.
Or resolution. You
Well,
guys passed that by resolution.
Is that, okay, this is, okay, because I'd asked the city clerk's office today about they gave me this, but you had used the term resolution, and I asked for that, and they couldn't find a resolution.
If I used the term resolution, it was incorrect.
But it's this purchasing manual, which it's a good start. There's a lot of things that probably need to be re-looked at or added, like, for example,
I mean, here, I find it's gonna be a living document that as we go, we learn, and we just have to be willing to make those adaptations to it.
When the theory behind it was that was passed by resolution, was that document. And what I'm doing is I'm changing the bidding ordinance to say, see that document for all bidding instructions. So now as we go forward, instead of having to change your bidding ordinances every time, and going through the two-step process and all that, you can do it by resolution just to change that, so it'll be a faster change.
I guess that's where I'm unclear on resolution, because a resolution to me is a document that's in the city clerk's office that says resolution 25-420 or whatever the number is designated as, and it's on a one-page document saying this is a resolution that this is we adopt. That's what,
Yeah, it
they
does.
couldn't find that.
I don't think there is a document for that specific one. You guys did an oral one, I think, is how you did it. But there's a court manual that'll show you guys approved that.
What does this have to do with the bid for this year? I mean,
Good question.
we're kind of getting off the topic.
It's getting off topic.
Well, it kind of isn't off topic because it's about the proper policy and following the procedures for it that we've been trying to get in place. And my last comment is that I feel I'm fully supportive of Councilman Smith, that I feel that all sealed bids should be opened in a public meeting that's posted, whether it be a committee meeting or a city council meeting, But I think that needs to be, my own personal opinion is that that's the proper thing we need to do as a governing body to do that. So, that's all I have to say about this.
Do you?
Well, but that meeting was,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, sorry. But you said that the date on in the paper that was listed, it was done right here, and that met the criteria of an open meeting.
It meets the criteria. It's not, what he's saying is it should be a council or a
Okay.
committee meeting.
Okay.
There are other open meetings that can be held. You can do it either way, whatever you guys prefer, is I think how we do it.
Are those posted on the website? Or, yeah, the website calendar? If there's like a bid opening?
He's wanting to know if there's an agenda posted for that meeting, right?
Well, yeah, just that,
There's no agenda for the.
not an agenda, but that it's posted,
The
that,
fact
hey,
It was sent out to everybody saying it is now gonna be on this date at this time, 12 North Road, Suite B. That is an open, that meeting was open to the public.
right.
Sent out the way that it needed to be.
Yeah, I'm not saying like you gotta send it out on all the emails that normally go out, but I was just curious if that's something that maybe, I mean, that's only gonna create more work for you, but,
ISG takes care of the posting and distributing that.
Okay.
I haven't, it doesn't come through me.
all right.
Okay, I call for the vote.
Well, do we have a motion to vote on? Because we haven't had a motion to award it.
What,
I have a motion by Brashears and a second by Smith to accept this that you made right when we started. Is that what we're going with?
Well,
Which one you're gonna accept?
Oh,
okay, let me change my motion. Let me just make the motion that we recommend to the council that we accept the bid from J&S Construction of Veneta in the amount of $370,389.
I'll change my second. Reflect that.
okay, so a motion by Brashear and second by Smith to recommend to the council that we approve the bid received from J&S Construction in the amount listed.
okay, ready? Okay, Lamar,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes,
Brashears.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Do you need me?
I don't think so.
Or you
No.
can move that to the front, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're off the clock 5 minutes early today.
See you guys.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
190, right?
now we're gonna move to item number 6, street superintendent report.
Put it right there, see you guys.
And Buddy, I will say that several things that we have on the agenda, we'll talk about those on down the line, so we'll address that later
Okay.
if you wanna talk about those.
Well, like I said, of course, everybody knows we got done with the asphalt overlay out there on Northeast First, Old Highway 20. Got with advanced warning to check when they was gonna come down. They're a little bit behind because of the rain that we've had. And he said it'd be about a week and a half, 2 weeks, which puts us around about 1st of August. They should be down here to be able to paint all the traffic lines on that for us. We've put some driveway pipes in. We've replaced some of the old concrete ones that was in. Over on 75 Irving, that was an extra drive. The gentleman bought that one, and we installed it for him. We put some over on South Row. There was some concrete pipe over there that's, 30, 40, 50 years old. They were breaking up and falling in, so there was the original drive, so we went ahead and replaced them. Keels Road, we done that one out there. The homeowner, he bought a 30-foot pipe and we put in a 20. Or he purchased a 30-footer because he wanted the original width of it. So he bought that, but we went ahead and we installed it for him. I mean, at no cost. We've done some asphalt repair out there at Mid-American Grill. Eventually, I don't know what's going to happen out through there. I know there's a business that bought something down there at the end of the drive. But that's where all the trucks and stuff used to come in, and the asphalt's pretty well alligated up there. We've been trying to putting this millings and stuff in here because we didn't know what we was going to do for us overlays. But we went and cleaned it up here the other day. Went and put some asphalt out there. We've got to take some more to finish that one up. We've done finished that little concrete job on North Elliott. We finally got that area done. We've done sidewalk repair there in front of the middle school. With all the heat, it raised up. We're doing a little sidewalk project over on South Mays, about about 160 foot. We're gonna try to get that part done. This area, I think there's 3 houses through there, and it was made a request, I don't know, 7 months ago, I guess it was. That's where they get their exercise. I mean, that area that whole sidewalk needs to be done. I know we need to start adding a sidewalk project every year into our street projects. I mean, we used to do that, used to get grants for it and stuff, all that, but we do probably just need to add that, some type of little project in there to get all these done.
Which block of South Main?
The second 100 block, or no, it'd be the first 100 block. So the first one's from 0 to 99. It's where we're at on-street parking. We got part of it's curb and gutter out through there, those 3 houses there. But I guess the request was made back here a while back because I guess they're like 80, 85, 90, but that's where they get their exercise, and it was broke up. So we're gonna try to get that like I mean, it just helps that area anyway. We had a tree fall over on Northeast 2nd and Ora. We went over and cut and got rid of that. We've been mowing again with mowing our drainages and right of ways. I mean, again, grass has not slowed down. We finally got back to painting our crosswalks. We should be at that for probably about another 3 weeks. And one of the things, of course, I know we said unseen, on something I wanted to bring to y'all's attention, our ice machine, it bit the dust. We've had it, it's probably 12, 14 years old. We've had it repaired in the past, and Melton's come down this morning, and the parts that they need, they just don't make no more. So that's something we're gonna have to look at in the future. When we work our budget out, or whatever it is, we need to put something in there. I know a lot of the other departments, they were willing to, said, come down at any time, get some, but I mean, but we still need something, because like I said, it's just when it's hot like this, trying to get back into these other departments and stuff. I mean, we just need ours. But other than that, I mean, I know there's other things going on, but that's just to top it off. We've got some other projects going in. So.
And what block on South Rose Street, did you mention it towards the beginning that you did something with the ditch or drainage?
That would be I guess would be the 200 block. It's right before you get to 3rd Street. Yeah, so it'd be 2nd.
Right before the Sonoma Club building.
Yes, that block area right through there. They're redoing a house here. There's another house here that's empty, but look like they've been maintaining the yard and stuff. And then there's another one, a double drive right next to that one there. And those pipes, like I said, they were totally plugged up. They had some metal in it with some concrete. And the reason we replaced that first one, but I mean, there's nobody living there, but if we didn't do that one, that pipe was also bad. So, but yeah, it's that block right in there. We had 3 of them that we had to replace.
Okay, thank you.
Shouldn't we expedite his ice machine request? Maybe get it on the next agenda for council. Kind of in bad need of one right now, and I don't know if we need to bid it or.
Because I'm waiting for, I talked to S&J Plumbing and I've talked to Melton's. They're both supposed to give me a quote, whatever it is, for these machines.
How much money you talking about?
Well, we're looking at the size that like they have down at the park department they bought years ago, and the machine that we have, by the time you filled up 2 little ice chests is about this big, then it was empty. But if something gets hung up or whatever, like I said, it just finally just quit making. But I'd like to have something large enough.
You got a ballpark figure guess?
4,000.
That'd be something we'd have to bid then, wouldn't it? Unless there's a state.
Well, that's why I'm trying to get these quotes from these other guys. And I don't know, I know there's one other, some of them they said, well, if you buy it and we install or whatever, what we'd like to have so it's covered by warranty and everything is find out, give them what we're looking for, have them purchase it and then install it so it carries with the warranty over through them and not just.
I don't want to get hung up on this bid thing again.
Yeah. Well, a quote, I mean, I guess like over 25,000. I mean, this is going to be around 4,000. I mean, I guess you could call them bids or quotes. But like I said, when we get it, I figured by the time they come back that I would bring it back to street committee meeting by the time we'd get something else in there, just so doing that process. So, because I mean, we can still go down and get ice at these other places. I mean, that's not a problem, but it's just something we need to look at to get in the near future.
Okay.
Is this a standalone unit or is it one that's actually plumbed? like with a separate condenser and all that?
Well, the one that we have, I mean, everything's made all together. It's not a top or a bottom. I mean, there is a top and bottom, but it's made all together. But these other ones that we're looking for, in order to get a bigger base, I think it's gonna be like a two-piece.
Okay.
So if the top ever goes out, then you're not having to purchase the bottom part. So, I mean, you just buy another unit, set up on top of it, which save you.
He'll get all that information and bring it back.
Yeah, as soon as, I'm just, like I said, I'm still waiting on them to get me something to come back.
Jay, would you put that on the agenda for the draft for next month?
Sure.
Just a question from someone I had. The signs that are still out on Northeast First, do we own those? Like the construction signs and all that?
We've got one that was left, they're picking that up in the morning, and that by Carbide Road. The
Okay.
one that says, road closed, no through traffic, that is ours. The other one is through, whoever, Glover, is theirs or whoever they rented them through. They come back the day that they was laying asphalt, and they said they would go ahead and leave them there
Okay.
at no cost or whatever, but they said, yeah, with everything's going on, because they didn't want to have to driving down through where they're doing asphalt trying to pick signs up.
Yeah.
They said they would come back a couple of days later, but they have not.
They still got equipment out there at the soccer field?
Hadn't seen any out there.
They moved it all off? Okay.
I mean, there's no issue with, I mean, outside of being an eyesore, because some folks didn't want them on their property anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why I was asking.
Well, I mean, if they don't come get them within this week, we'll probably go load them up and bring them back to the shop. But I'm gonna give them all opportunity.
Okay.
So there's no, we've done it before. They come and left them. And so we went and picked them up and took them back to the shop, and then we was accused of stealing them. So I'm giving this, whoever the company is, all opportunity to come pick their stuff up, and if they don't, then we'll just go through and load them up and bring them back to the shop. And
Okay.
Okay, good, thank you, buddy. All right, we're gonna move on to item number 7 now, which is an update from Pryor Main Street Group regarding the status of the streetscape Phase 1 project at the intersection of Adair and Graham Avenue. Good evening, Bridget and Adam, welcome to our meeting.
Good evening, Mr. Lamar. How are you?
Great, thank you.
So, quick update. Just not going to take very much of your time, but we are in the process of getting everything situated out for the 100% plan approval. That will go from our design firm, Kimley Horn, to ODOT, and once we receive that go-ahead, 3 months from then, they'll start the bid out process.
6 months.
For the bid.
Oh, 3 months, okay, sorry.
I know where you're going though. So what he's saying, and then 3 months after that, they will be able to break ground. So we are right at the very tail end of the scene. There was a few hiccups that we had with ODOT, but we got those all situated out thanks to us being able to go down and work on some partnerships and do some stewardship with our state legislators that were able to help move that forward for us. So we are just right there, almost ready to go.
Okay, what kind of timeline do we have?
So we will be meeting within the next couple of weeks, I think as late as possibly first week of August, with the planning committee to finalize those plans, and then our design firm will package that all up together and send that to Kimley Horn. So I'm thinking end of August.
Yeah, we're in the waiting phase with ODOT right now. So ODOT had some minor changes that they had recommendations for. We took a look at those. We talked with a couple of senators, and with ODOT's gone back through the plans. They found some additional things that they wanted to tweak and sent that back to Kimley Horn. Kimley Horn's working on that right now. Once they get it back to us, and like Bridget said, we're working as late as today, I believe, to schedule that meeting over the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on everybody's schedule. Kimley Horn will wrap it together October. It's probably going to take ODOT at least 30 days to go through it again, then give their stamp of approval, and then we're 6 months from that before there's a groundbreaking. I know that seems like a long timeline. That probably puts us into what, February, March of 26, when we asked questions of ODOT of why is this taking so long. Their kind of general response was really from inception to now, Pryor's will be done started in about the 4.5 year mark. A lot of the projects that go with this TAP grant take about 10 years. So
That was shocking.
that was shocking to all of us. That was the
'Cause
first
it
we had
feels like
heard
a long
that.
time, but
Government efficiency. for it.
And that's what they said. That was dealing with government. It was a TAP grant that was federally funded. The federal funds came to Oklahoma. That took some time. They're all at ODOT waiting to come down to us, but they've got to complete that last piece that still takes them 6 months.
Okay, and just to clarify, this phase one is just the intersection of Adair and Graham Avenue only,
Yes, sir.
on all four corners?
Yes, sir.
And is it going to include, sidewalks? Is it gonna include bump outs? Is it gonna include, landscaping and trees?
In that
Are we gonna lose any
intersection,
parking spots?
it does include the sidewalks in that intersection, so those corners. It does not extend very far down in Adair Street or down Graham Avenue to replace those sidewalks. It just cleans up those corners and cleans up that crosswalk portion. That's one of the discussions we're having with Kimley Horn and ODOT is, what does that look like in the centerpiece? Is that something that ODOT wants to go ahead and have milled and overlaid? Do they want that left alone? A lot of those type of decisions are in ODOT's hand, and we won't know really until that 100% completion stamp of approval from ODOT. It does include bump outs. It includes some limited vegetation. That's some of the stuff that we took back from some of the early meetings with stakeholders, Buddy, MUB, different groups about putting trees in. If you remember, there were conversations about birds having messes on cars, some history of old trees that had been in town, took that back. Some of that stuff has been stripped out because of that feedback. There was also some concern with having irrigation systems in that corner. What would happen if, the street crew was out clearing roads in a snowstorm and those lines busted and found out it was a solid sheet of ice down there? Some other conversations we had with ODOT that said, you put irrigation systems in there, they can leak for several years, you'll never know about it, and it will erode the base of the highway. So went back and said, maybe an irrigation system is not exactly what we want. So pulled those kind of components out. So yeah, there's some vegetation in it, but not much. And there are bump outs. As far as parking spaces, that's something that we've talked about with Kimley Horn. We have shrunk down the effect of the parking spaces quite a bit. What is affecting parking spaces is ADA ramps and spacing. If you'll look at the current ADA handicap spots we have, they're just a regular, maybe a little bit wider space. That works great until you replace those. Then ODOT requires, and that's a requirement of this grant, is to put ADA compliance in there. So that puts the hash marks and all of that. So it does affect parking spaces.
And it will still have the I'm gonna call them archways, the signage arches over the two intersections.
Yeah, those are still currently.
On Adair Street.
Yep.
Not Graham. They'll be on Adair Street.
And explain or refresh our memory on how this is funded and how much is it, and is there gonna be any out-of-pocket expenses from the city of Pryor? And is it all have to be done through the umbrella of the city, and we may have to pay for some things and be reimbursed, or how does that work?
So this grant is and jump in when you want to, is a TAP grant. So all of the payment.
TAP stands for?
It's some ODOT acronym.
Okay.
Transportation.
Access point.
Activation.
Yeah, there you
something
go.
like that.
So all the invoices, the contract will actually be with ODOT and the contractor. ODOT will handle the bidding, ODOT will handle the monitoring, and ODOT will handle paying the bills.
Okay.
So that's kind of the simple answer. The expanded answer is, so it is a matching grant that we have matched for. 102,000 of that was from TSET. That was reimbursable. So those expenses, the EDTA paid either directly for components that are sitting down at the street department now, or we paid ODOT for the property owners or the sponsors, I think is what ODOT calls it, the city, the sponsors portion of the engineering. The EDTA paid that to ODOT, and then TSET reimbursed the EDTA for those expenses. So that piece was reimbursable.
What is,
The remainder of this is the bills will go straight to ODOT, and ODOT will pay them directly. Now, there is still a sponsor match piece that's left, and that there's some in-kind donations. So some of the work that MUB will do and some others will count towards that. And then there's funding that will come from Fund 68 that will help bridge that gap that has been there since day one. Part of that is that discussion with Kimley Horn that's still ongoing about the 90% complete. So to give you a dollar amount today, it wouldn't be accurate.
okay,
But it'll be somewhere in the 250 mark. But it's all consistent with what was originally presented for how much it's gonna cost. And some of that 250 gets offset by some federal grants that we're looking at, or that ODOT's looking at, and then by those matching grants.
and what is the things that were purchased that's sitting out at the street department now?
Oh,
There's trash receptacles, there's benches, and there are, the poles.
the poles for the stoplights.
Okay. Speaking of stoplights, the traffic lights, explain what's gonna happen to the traffic lights at that intersection.
So the traffic lights at that intersection will be red and yellow and green.
No kidding.
So those stoplights, the stoplights that the city currently has are old and antiquated. They are stoplights that work off of just a timer. And after 5 minutes, it changes colors. Well, the new stoplights, when we put a new stoplight at that intersection, it would not ever be in sync with the rest of them if we just let the new technology take over. So the plan, as we understand it today from ODOT and from Kimley Horn, is it will be a modern box that's installed that's downgraded intentionally so that it works off of a timer just like the rest. And then as it progresses down Graham Avenue with the streetscape at some later date, those will be updated as well. And then when they're all completed, they'll all be able to switch over at the same time to smart lights, which have better sensing. They don't have the vibration sensors in the concrete, and they last long term.
Will there be brand new poles
Yes.
In phase one, yes.
in phase one? Okay. Okay, and to emphasize again, this is only that intersection only.
Yes.
Certain phases into the future are still way down the road.
They are dependent upon I want to make sure I say this right, the legacy grant that City Council approved a month ago, a few weeks ago. And then once that happens, then the other phases would all be done potentially at one time.
So what's kind of a time period line for that?
3 years.
If we are approved, those will be completed by 2028, or the end of 2028.
For phase two,
For, well,
which includes what?
Which includes all of the other intersections.
All the way to,
All the way to
Elliott.
Elliott?
It's
Does not
grant-
include Elliott.
grant-
It does not include a streetscape,
Right.
Like-
It'll have updated lights, but
Updated
not the rest of
signalization.
the stuff.
but not the updated curbing and things like.
no,
The
no
downtown.
new sidewalks along the entire length of Graham Avenue?
That is in the legacy grant.
That's in the legacy grant.
Okay.
So when you said 10 year, when you said that they told you 10 years, that was to get started. It was
That's how a lot of these TAP grant, that's how long a lot of these TAP grant projects are worked on.
And that's with, yeah,
And that's what-
ODOT oversight through that TAP grant.
Okay,
But the legacy grant, it will not be the same because that will be a different funding source.
okay, cool.
And we already have ODOT's approval for that, so.
Even though these are through ODOT and TSET and TAP and all that, a lot of their monies probably come from federal government money.
T-Set does
So-
not.
Do we have any kind of indication at all that we are going to be on track getting government grants to pay for that in light of the current DOGE situation in the federal government?
So, we dodged Doge in this because the funding was already put through and at the state level before any of that started
For this one,
for this
for
one.
this phase? Okay.
Now, in phase two, which I think the agenda item may have just said phase one, so I don't want to get too far off of that, but phase two is TSET, which has nothing to do with the federal government. In my understanding of it anyway.
Do you gentlemen have any more questions about what's going on with the streetscape?
I think you very well covered it.
Thank you for putting all your.
And to keep talking when I should shut up,
Is this more?
you guys have this document. You have the front cover of this
We have the
document.
front cover and the table of contents page only.
This is a full document that Main Street, the mayor, the EDTA are working on that is still a few weeks out from being ready to publish, but it is one that will be added to Main Street's website where the streetscape is discussed, that kind of really spells out this whole process, has screenshots that says, here's the agenda item from the council meeting, and spells everything out because the project is getting to a point where it needs some formal documentation that everybody can refer back to, so.
Once that document's complete and Main Street has it on their page, Mayor, is it unreasonable to ask that be put on the city's website too?
More than likely it'll be linked somehow, but the idea is that the stewardship of this project is through Main Street, and we'll make sure that it stays transparent that that is a Main Street.
Project.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
sir.
Thanks for putting all your time and effort into it.
Okay, moving on to item number 10.
8.
No.
Oh, you gonna pass 8?
Oh, yes. We'll,
He's just chopped liver, I guess.
we'll move on to item number 10, then we'll get to that other when I decide we're going to. Discuss and possibly recommend council action to seek bids for the purchase and installation of a new diesel motor for a 2008 Chevrolet one-ton truck. Buddy, you're on.
Well, we took it out to the Chevrolet garage, see if they run a diagnostic on it. And they come to the conclusion of what it is the cam, it's in there because it keeps losing oil pressure. Is the bearings are going out, and there's a couple other things that they was talking with Michael on. And that you can tear it apart and replace that, but if you don't replace anything, you tear it down that far, you might as well fix everything else. There's nothing wrong with the truck, I mean, other than just the motor's going bad. So instead of spending $90,000 probably on another truck with a motor, and again, I'm waiting on over at Claremore for a price. Big Cabin, they don't do this motor replacements, even though it's a diesel place. So I'm waiting for Chevrolet Garage. They just give an estimate around $21,000. They said they're not really sure exactly how much until they just get down to look at it. And I said, well, I just need something to bring up here so we can kind of make a decision. I don't want to try to get it down to the penny, and then something happens, you know, we're $200 over, you know. So, but like I said, when we get their quote back, and then from Claremore, and then there's nobody else here in Pryor that does it. They mild mechanic work is what they do, but for replacing motors, nobody around here does.
Is there anything on state bid we can buy a diesel motor from them?
That I have no idea. I don't know I know even out here for state bid price, when we do vehicles, they won't even quote a state bid. If they want to quote a price, they want us to go look it up, do all the paperwork, footwork to get it done. I said, well, no, if y'all want to sell something, your salesman needs to do the footwork. There's a new guy over at Claremore at the Chevrolet place over there. Supposed to be meeting with him sometime this week, get over there and talk to him and say, hey, this is what we're needing. We need a quote for this. And I know most of the time they're only good for 30 days and everything. So that's why, once we get this in, like I said, to give it to you all and find out, you know, what they're looking at. I know it's gonna be a few thousand more than what just a regular motor that we, that we put into a gasoline motor, but I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with the truck, everything else is good on it.
Right, well, and in doing a diesel motor too, I know some of them have that wonderful pump that fuel pump that likes to come apart and completely trash a new motor. We can also make sure that a lot of that, I mean, if you're gonna pull a motor, you might as well make sure all that other stuff is.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it'd be easier just with a diesel crate motor is what the, crate motor,
Yeah,
and, pull it out and put it back in. There's nothing wrong with the transmission, it's still working good. They all have those Allison transmissions, so we bought those back when they come out with them.
What was the gas on the motor?
21,000 is what he just said off the top of his head.
Okay.
Is the truck still usable right now, or is it parked?
Well, it's parked right now because what I'm afraid of is if we take it out and use it and it breaks down right then and there, then we're gonna have to haul it in. It was sort of like with our sweeper. I mean, it's running, but if it breaks down, then we're just,
So are you wanting this included in the new budget?
yes, for
So
a new.
you're not needing it right now?
No, new budget year. I mean, because everything that we're doing, I mean, that we're looking at, it's gonna have to be in the new budget year to process that.
Okay, so, I guess right now then, you're gonna come back later with, of course, you're gonna get quotes, but it's gonna have to be actually bid
Yeah, everything, yeah, because yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
So right now, we probably just need to take no action, just information right now.
Yeah, information, let y'all know that this, kind of get y'all's approval from him to do this. I mean, it's,
and again, I mean, I know I already mentioned, but we can make sure that high pressure pump is gonna be included with it, cause if you keep an old one and it's going bad, it'll trash your new one.
Yeah.
And then warranty's not gonna cover that, if that's the.
because supposedly everything is underneath the hood's gonna be replaced, except for the, radiator and, but everything else supposed to all be brand new. I mean, that's the,
I mean, I would assume that that's the case. I know enough
yeah.
to get myself in trouble, but just something to be aware of, that's included in the cost,
Yeah.
because I would hate to spend that money and that happen.
Okay, so we don't really need to take any action on this tonight then, so do we want to make a motion for no action?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, because I mean, I'm still waiting on these other people to
Yeah.
give me some prices, but I'm just wanting to let y'all know that
Okay.
I need to set this for our new budget year.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'll make a motion of no action for right now.
okay, I'll second it.
Yes.
Okay, Smith,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Lamar.
Yes. Okay, item number 11, discuss and possibly recommend council action regarding the purchase of a rotary cutter skid steer attachment to maintain alleys and other areas from options to be presented by the street superintendent. I'll make a motion that we discuss this.
I'll say it.
Motion by Lamar, second by Brashear.
And again, with this, I mean, it's the guy that we used to have through White Star. Of course, he retired and went on, and we have a new guy that's over there. But as of right now, he's on vacation. So, but with the state bid price and everything, he would have to sit down and put a pencil to it. So the other guys over there, they don't really want to give a quote until he gets back.
Okay.
I looked online. I mean, you had anywhere from Utilities has one over there. They come over and demonstrated in the alley. I'm not sure if that's exactly what we want, but it worked. You can use it on gravel, dirt, whatever it is. And there's a couple things that I would like to have on that theirs doesn't have is a leveling device on the front. Got little wings that comes out. Looking up online, I mean, they were anywhere from $8,000–9,000, but I don't know if that's exactly what they have. If those are commercial or there's just something, that the common person could buy
And again, is this for the new
budget year.
new budget year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll vote yes too. You didn't ask me for your motion second and the yes.
Yes, she didn't.
Got the yes.
And this says 300 days after receipt of orders when it should be delivered, if we order.
The what?
What?
On the packet.
This has nothing to do with that rotary skid steer.
I thought I
That's
was
for a trash, that's for a street sweeper. We're not even there yet.
Oh, never mind.
No,
Disregard what I said.
Okay, so anyway, we're not gonna take any action on that tonight, so just be aware of that. So we made the motion second for no action.
Yeah,
Me and Bashir.
I'll go for that.
I still vote yes.
Okay, so, for no action or to discuss?
Well, we made the first one to discuss it, and I didn't vote. That's why I'm saying yes.
We didn't take a vote on the motion to discuss.
Yeah,
Did
Well, you made the first, second, I vote yes, so.
He's making a motion of no action on the item, and I'll second it.
Well, it's got deep quick, didn't it?
Rushiers,
Yes.
Lamar,
yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to what you were trying to bring up ahead there. Item number 12, discuss and possibly recommend council action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $424,278 to J&R Equipment of Oklahoma City for a 2025 Elgin street sweeper at the state contract price. And again, I'm assuming that this is gonna be for the new fiscal.
Correct. I have part of the money put back, and then this.
So, I need a motion and a second to discuss it.
Motion.
Motion by Brashears, seconded by
Second.
Smith,
You gotta vote.
and then the vote.
Well, do we have to vote to discuss?
Lamar,
Yes?
Smith,
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Okay, so,
You motion and second.
You need to get a drink or anything?
it's been a long day. Okay, buddy, talk to us about your street sweeper.
Well, what this is, I went, there was 3 different people I contacted. There was one that, I can't remember the name, Orca or something, but their sweepers that they had was about half the size we was looking for. So these 2 here, the J&R Equipment, and the other was Kirby Smith. So I told both of them, I said, we don't need a bid for these, but I said I need demonstrations. So the J&R Equipment was the only one that brought one by to demonstrate. So, and they said that they had 2 in stock, and they said that they would hold that one. I said, well, that's fine. I said, I'll bring it up there tonight, but I said, it may be an extra 30 days before we can actually get it, so I can get my street department budget, get it finalized. And they said they had no problem with that, but just to let them know, so that way they're not using it for any type of demonstrations or sell it to somebody. So, but that's what this, and the other one was, well, you have the other price. It was $424,980 was what the other bid was. But they didn't, the closest place that you could do a demonstration of that was in South Dakota. So I didn't think y'all would wanna.
Depending on what time of year.
Yeah, well, I mean, make a trip down there, but I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be a good road trip, but I told them, I said I would have to have a demonstration, so they,
We'd fly you first class up there instead of road trip.
well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
may want to table this.
You want to take it? Go.
No, we don't need, we need to get going,
So this is gonna be another request in the new budget year,
correct.
okay?
Yep, that is the new budget year.
So, Jay, I apologize for creating chaos for you and confusion a while ago on that.
Okay, are we making a new motion now?
Yes, for no action.
No action. You're making the motion?
So you don't need us to put this up for right now? Like,
Well, I mean, basically, I don't know if that's something even legal, but I mean, if that's something I could call them, tell them, yes, we will eventually purchase this sweeper, so they don't sell it to somebody.
right.
So Mayor, does this need to be then pushed to the council now or after the new budget is approved?
Push it now, but I wanna go to the purchasing manual for clarification before it becomes an issue. Purchases greater than 25,000. If you have your manual, please turn to this page on page 6. Purchases exceeding 25,000 shall be acquired by request for proposal or request for bid. Exceptions may be granted for purchase of city vehicles as pertains to the best interest of the city. City vehicles, dadgummit. For vehicles only, the council may allow quotes in lieu of a bid. However, such quotes must include all substitution deletion. If Albany can get on this as a quote, then that suffices. We've got pricing. He's done his research. So that said, as soon as we get his budget finalized, it'd be nice to get the ball rolling on this because it's greatly needed.
Yeah.
I think if you guys went ahead and approved it now, you're not approving the purchase tonight. You're approving,
At least it going to the council.
get the ball rolling. So that would be my recommendation, is to pass it to council for approval in compliance with the purchasing manual.
And it is a
That's why I asked, so.
motor vehicle.
It's got an engine and wheels, right?
What?
It's got an engine and wheels, right?
Oh,
You have to
You
tag
got
it?
any questions?
You have to tag it?
You have to tag it? Sure.
Do you have to tag it?
Isn't the current one tagged?
yes.
And we'll mark it,
Yeah, let's
City
send it. to
price.
council
Well,
and get
that's
going.
down, that's
Yeah.
another, whole nother discussion. Okay, so, yes, I take it that you all want to recommend and push this to the council
We
then?
might as well at this point.
Okay,
So a motion from Bashir's?
yes, and second by me to push, to recommend to the council for this expenditure.
Smith?
Yes.
Bashir's?
Yes.
Lamar?
Yes. Item number 13, discuss and possibly recommend council action regarding the hiring of personnel to fill a vacancy in the street department.
Motion.
Motion by Bashir,
Second.
second by Smith. Discussion, and I'll start that off. You recall that Buddy has some crews, and he has everything split up into 2 crews, if I'm correct.
Correct.
How many people do you have on a crew right now?
2 each.
2 each. He is actually short a few people from several years ago not hiring, and we had a couple quit within the past 6 months or so, or more. And he's wanting to go ahead and hire one person right now that quit to fill a vacancy, and then later on, after the new budget is approved, we talked here a while back about him putting another person in the new budget. So,
Rick, that would just kind of, I mean, we had 13 back then when it happened, when they all quit. We had 10, and like I said, we discussed that, and we can handle it with 10 people. It just, this thing's process a little bit slower for his projects getting completed. But like right now, I've got the guy that's doing the mowing, he's doing the mowing and weeding all at the same time. But then I've got the other two two-man crews, they're doing something, but I don't have anybody, weeding around signs, spraying, just different things. Patching, potholing, stuff like that. I mean, sometimes we have those up on Fridays, and now I had to pull somebody off to do that.
Well, this will be for this current budget right now, right? The new one. We hired this guy tonight, recommended. Because we're in the new budget right now, right?
yes, so technically you're right.
Yeah.
They both would be in the new budget. So are you wanting, we're waiting until the budget's approved then to hire them?
Well, I mean, I'd like to have them right now. I mean, but if it deems that I have to wait till everything's done, I mean, I don't know how quick that.
I just wonder if we got the monies, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering, we don't know what we've got.
Well, it's like with me, I know I'm not with the, general fund or whatever.
Yeah.
Mine's totally different, but like with the wages that we had from last year, the 2 guys that quit, I mean, the money was still in that area, so. But I mean, long as I can get this rolling, get this put in, I mean, if I have to wait until everything's done.
Well, you're gonna advertise for hiring, and it takes a while to get applications back, et cetera, right?
Yeah,
So what's a fully staffed crew for your department?
the most we had was 13.
How many do you need? Like, do you know?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you had, I mean, if I had 15 people, yeah, I could keep 15 people busy, but then you're gonna have off days,
No.
you know, that you're not gonna need at winter time. It just depends on what, you know, what type of winter that we have. I mean, that's just, but, I mean, with 10 people, we can manage what we got down there. That gives me 2-3 men crews, and if something happens, I can always pull a couple guys off to do something else if need be. I mean, that was working all right with just 10 people down there.
Well, I assume we've got money right now to pay a new man, right? In the street department?
I mean, not being part of the general fund, and I'm sure you know your budget better than
I think it's,
most others.
I mean, just by looking what we have, there's probably,
He had one. that
3.5, 4 million in
resigned.
there?
He accepted a resignation last council
Yeah.
meeting or earlier this month, so.
I'm thinking make a motion.
Yeah.
Make a motion to advise council to put it up for hire next council meeting.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Smith. Do we have a second?
And this is just for this one clarification? Well,
yeah, when the budget goes, when it goes through the budget, I'm gonna put in for another extra guy that goes into the budget, so it'll be in there.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll
We may
I'll
end
go
up
ahead.
hiring two before the year's over, but one for
Yeah, I'll
sure.
go ahead and second that one. Second this one.
Okay, we have a motion by Smith and Councilman Brashear seconded it. Call for the vote.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Thank you, buddy.
Mhm.
Okay, last, we're gonna move back up to item number 8, which is an update from the mayor regarding proposed 2025-2026 street, alley, sidewalk, and drainage projects. As you know, we had talked about having each councilman come up with a priority list to submit. And Mayor, would you please explain to us how you think that's gonna work?
Well, when I discussed this with Buddy, first of all, to the council members that sent in their reports, thank you. The ones that did not, which are none of you, I'll still take those. Still would love to know. The idea is we're gonna look at those. Buddy and I talked just this week about, I'm sorry, it was the Thursday or Friday last week, we talked about, we're gonna take those lists, we're gonna put them all out, we're gonna map them. Buddy's typical procedure is that he likes to have Michael go out, drive those. Michael kind of prioritizes. I think what we do this time is we're gonna look at those things in each of the wards respectfully that are a little more severe than other issues. You know, everybody sent in great lists, a lot of detail. Some of them are gonna be high dollar repairs. Councilman Smith reported one where we've got some water coming up from under the road and we can't figure out if it's a spring or it's a leaky pipe.